When we talk about living sent, it's easy to imagine big moments, bold decisions, and clear callings, these sacrificial leaps of faith. But for most followers of Jesus, the truest measure of obedience is not found in a single dramatic moment. It's found in the quiet, repeated choices we make every day. The choices no one applauds, the obedience that no one notices, and the faithfulness that feels painfully ordinary. One of the surprises many people experience after a mission project is this: obedience on the field often feels clearer than obedience at home. Their schedules, expectations, a shared sense of purpose is built into every day. But when we return to normal life, obedience feels more ambiguous and often more costly because it requires something deeper than enthusiasm. It requires surrender. Here's the central idea of this chapter. Living sent is not about occasional sacrifice. It's about daily surrender. A sent life is not sustained by emotional highs. It's formed through repeated acts of obedience in the ordinary. Jesus was clear about what following him would require. Take up your cross daily. Not once, not when it's convenient, not when it feels meaningful. Daily. Dying to self is rarely dramatic. More often, it looks like choosing obedience when your preferences would pull you in another direction. It's saying yes when no one else is watching. Throughout Scripture, God works through ordinary obedience, faithfulness in small things, trust in unseen moments, submission when the path forward feels unimpressive. The early church didn't just obey God in moments of persecution or public witness. They obeyed him in how they lived together, how they shared their resources, how they loved one another day by day. That kind of obedience shaped who they became. Inspiration can spark obedience, but it can't sustain it. Formation happens when obedience becomes a way of life, when saying yes to God is woven into the ordinary rhythms of work and family relationships, even our responsibilities. This kind of obedience is costly because it requires us to loosen our grip of control and comfort and ambitions and self-direction. This chapter exists to help you reframe what faithfulness looks like after the excitement fades. To recognize that God is deeply at work in your everyday obedience, even when it feels small or unseen. The question is no longer, will I obey God someday? But will I say yes today? As you read this chapter, pay attention to your resistance. Where does obedience feel costly right now? Where do you feel the tension between your will and God's will? Don't rush past those moments. Those are often the places where God is shaping your heart most deeply. And if you're walking through this chapter with others, this is a space for honesty. Not about what you plan to do, but about where obedience feels hardest. Confession and encouragement are powerful tools of formation when shared in a grace-filled community. Let me encourage you with this. God is not asking you to be extraordinary. He's asking you to be faithful. Every yes matters. Every act of surrender counts. Every quiet moment of obedience shapes who you're becoming. As you move into chapter 3, my prayer is that you would begin to see obedience differently. Not as a burden to carry, but as a daily invitation to trust God with your life. Say yes today. Die to self in the ordinary. And trust that God is forming something beautiful through your faithfulness, one quiet act at a time.